Hey everybody, so right now we're going to step by step go through what we did in class, and I'm going to show you a few other things like how I would UV unwrap a character and maybe add some visual elements to it like images or colors or things like that. So right now, just to get us up to speed, I have put in my reference image, and this is really important. You really should use a reference image when you're creating your character, otherwise this is going to be really challenging. So first, work on your reference image. Make sure that the different elements of it are lined up. In the case of the references images that I've created, I always create lines that go under the chin, the arms, the waist, so that I can make sure that those things are lined up while I'm actually drawing it. So I've brought in my reference image. I did that by going to the object mode and pressing Shift A and going to image and going to reference image and then bringing it in. I set it up in such a way so that if I turn to the left or to the right, I'll see that I have the sideways silhouette of my character, and if I turn straight on, I'll see the frontways silhouette of my character. Perfect. This is exactly what I want. I have also scaled a cube. Let me go over to my empties right here and just make them unselectable. I can bring up this little arrow option by going into this funnel, go into my restriction toggles, and selecting selectable. And now that I have this up here, I can just deselect these so that I can't select these reference images anymore. So I have this cube. This cube has been split in half by a loop cut. I used Control R. I put a loop cut in the middle, and then I just deleted those vertices. And now I can go ahead and I can add a mirror modifier to this. I want to mirror it on the Y-axis. Let's see, am I getting some weird overlap here? I think I am. Let's just, what's going on? Perfect. I'm going to put this to 0.1 because I really do want these to merge together if they're somewhat close. And let's go into it. I'm going to kind of fast forward and unfast forward throughout this entire thing. Kind of coming back during key points so that I can emphasize what I'm doing. The first thing that I'm going to do right here is I'm just going to highlight these two vertices down here. I'm going to press Control R. I'm going to add a variety of loop cuts. Like I said, we really just want to make this pretty coarse. I'm going to turn on proportional editing mode and I'm going to press grab. I believe that that's a little bit too large. Remember, we don't want to mess with the overlap of this. Oh, and you'll see that's where the merge is right now. We want to turn this down a little bit. I'm going to say 0.05. Great, that's good. And let's just slowly start to have this match up with the face. Dragging these over. I have X-ray toggle mode on so that all of these vertices are selectable in the front and in the back. I'm going to get rid of proportional editing mode right now because I don't really need it for this. Okay, that's starting to look pretty good. Let's go ahead and look at the side. I'm going to go ahead and do Control R, bring in a few loop cuts here. Actually, first off, let's actually just move these back and see how close we can get, and then we'll do the loop cuts afterwards. Okay, great. This is starting to look a little bit more like a head. We have some sharp corners here. That'll get kind of rounded out once we actually do the subdivision surface modifier. I'm now going to add some loop cuts over here, probably like 3 like that, so that I can get a little bit of a circle going for this. Remember, at this point, I'm actually going to apply the mirror modifier. I need to go into object mode. I'm applying it. At this point, I'm going to press A to select all of my vertices, and I'm going to press M, and I'm going to merge by distance. And you'll see it has removed 0 vertices. That's great. I always do this as just a precaution because I know sometimes when I use mirror modifiers, things get stacked on top of each other and my mesh gets kind of overlapping with other vertices and it can get really messy. So I always just merge just for the sake of it. Remember, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and actually use loop tools to be able to create a circle down on this smaller part. So let's see what faces I want to grab. I want to grab these 4 on the bottom right here. So boom, 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 oh, boom, boom. I am using shift click. And now I'm going to go over to this small little divot over here. I'm going to go to edit, and loop tools is right there. I'm going to click circle, and it generates a circle for me right on the spot. And this is wonderful. Let's rotate this so that this is kind of more in line with the neck. And I'll extrude this down. I'm going to go back into vertices mode so that I can move these around in a more appropriate way. Great. This is starting to look pretty good. So let's go ahead, go back, delete half of these, and go back into mirror modifier mode. And we'll keep doing this for a little while. And remember, this whole process right here is just slowly going through and lining this up with my model in the best way that I possibly can. In a second, we're going to switch views, and we're going to see if we can line this up with our model from the other viewport. But right now, it's just step by step, little by little. Oh, so something that I'm seeing already right here is you'll actually see that I have all of these vertices inside of my model, and that means that it's really not merging correctly. Let me go and see if I can make this 0.1. Okay, so I'm going to have to go ahead and clean these up because I don't want there to be vertices in the middle of my model. I can just go in, select all of these, and press delete, and delete these vertices, and that's fine. That's more of what I want. You might have to go in and do some of this cleaning up when you're using the mirror modifier. Hopefully, if you're using it correctly and you actually set the merge before you start doing this, you won't have to deal with that. But just to keep in mind, if you start to see vertices inside of your mesh, you can go ahead and get rid of these. It's not going to be hugely problematic. And in fact, inside of the box models that you guys are creating, you are going to have quite a bit of vertices inside of your models at first, and that's fine. Remember, this is our first step in creating characters. We're not going to be creating the most photorealistic thing in the world. We're trying to get a semblance of a character. So let's keep going. Right now, I'm just taking these vertices down. I really just want to use this face to be able to create a circle. Great, I'm going to select this face. I think ideally the loop cut loop tools works better with more faces than just one, but this actually works fine for us because we're going to use the subdivision surface modifier. And I often toggle between a variety of different tools when I'm doing this kind of thing in terms of like face selection or vertice selection or any of those. So don't feel like you have to use any of these ways to do any of this. The important part is that I'm selecting faces, I'm extruding them, selecting faces, I'm extruding them. And now let's also be aware of where these shoulders are going to be. I'm going to put this here, and then I'm going to put another one right there, and I'm probably make the middle one just a little bit bigger to give the sense that it's a shoulder. Yeah, that sounds good. That's starting to look pretty good. Now, this is something that's kind of important to think about when you are creating a model. In this case, a lot of the times when you have a base model, maybe you're kind of basing it off of like the naked character or the character without skin. maybe you're basing it off of the character with clothing on. If that's the case, you're going to want to consider where the clothing is on your mesh so you can kind of play around with that. For instance, like I could always scale. I'm going to go back. I'm going to press S, or sorry, I'm going to S. I'm going to make this a little bit bigger. I'm going to press E. I'm going to press S. And now I actually have, I could make this look a little bit more like a sleeve by playing around with the mesh over here and by creating an inset face inside of this. So if I want to make it look like my character has clothing on, I could do that. And I would say go for this approach more this time as opposed to what we're going to do. Because we can talk about like adding clothing and adding hair on top of your character mesh, but I would really kind of gravitate towards using this approach and starting with a more minimal approach. Oh. In this case, I really just want to get kind of a block mitten kind of look. Yeah, that's fine with me. I'm going to go Control R. I'm going to bring this over here. I'm going to have one little face right there that I can use to extrude a thumb from. Yay! Let's see if this is facing in the right direction. I kind of want this thumb more over here. Yeah, that's fine with me. Great. Okay, now we're on to the legs. I think we're going to have to do a similar kind of thing where we first add maybe a few loop cuts here, and then we will go ahead and add circles during the loop tools. But first, we're going to go ahead into object mode. I'm going to apply this. I'm going to go back over here. I'm going to select everything by pressing A. I'm going to press M. I'm going to merge by distance. And hey, look at that. 21 vertices removed. That means that there were 21 vertices that were really close to each other and could be thrown out because they were redundant. So keep in mind, it is always useful to go and do that. So let's think about where am I going to put these circles? I'm probably going to leave this space in the middle right here for the kind of groin area. And then I'm going to add these 6 on the side, on either side. Great. So we actually can delete this again because we actually can do this with asymmetry, which is fine. It's always fine to kind of take this slow and and have to like add and apply and add and apply modifiers. It's fine. As long as we are being scrupulous, it's okay what approach we take. So I'm going to select these 6 faces. I'm going to choose circle. And hey, look at that. That is starting to look like legs. Wonderful. Okay, so let's make sure that this is kind of... Oh, am I rotating this in the correct orientation? Yes. Great. Let's extrude this down. Maybe bring this out a little bit. I think we're going to want to select... And go to vertices. Gonna want to select. Oh, and that's what's happened is it's merged those. So we want to make this a little bit less, 0.02. Let's do that. I'm gonna say extrude. Great, that's looking good. And remember, this is gonna be a bending point, so we really do want to add a good amount of loop cuts over here. I'm going to go ahead and add that. And I'm also going to go ahead and add this. Let's bring this up a little bit, this one on the top. Okay, what I just did there is I pressed SZ0, and it essentially averaged out the Z distance between all those vertices so that it would be flat on the bottom. Okay, so, let's make this a little bit wider over here. Okay, I think this is starting to look pretty good. We've gotten to a point where we have the mirror modifier still set up. We can see that we have some problems there because we have some seams. We're going to have to get rid of some vertices. Once we apply it, we're also going to have to deal with this groin area, which will be easier to deal with once we've applied the mirror modifier. But let's go ahead and see what we can do inside here. I think it's this is kind of throwing me off, this like pointy bit. Yeah, we'll deal with that in a second. So now, going into object mode, I am applying this. I'm going to go A, I'm going to go M, I'm going to merge by distance, 20 vertices removed. That's great. Let's go ahead. I see that there's some stuff over here. So, what do we have? Yuck, there's some weird stuff over here. Oh, yeah. This is yucky. So we're going to have to clean this up. Oh, boy. Yeah. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I've gone out of X-ray mode. I'm going to press merge, and I'm going to say at center. I'm actually just manually going in and merging these right now, which will be useful. And I'm still going to have to go in and kind of change this up a little bit. Oof, yeah, look at all these. This is nasty. I really could have increased the merge distance on my mirror modifier so that I didn't have to go in and do all this. Yuck, look at that. And I really don't also like this. We're going to talk about this later because these are N-gons. Oh my god. I've selected all these 4 vertices right here, and I'm pressing F to be able to create a face. Cool. Oh. I'm just bringing this down. There's kind of like a Cossacks. Oh, and we have this stuff. Let me see what that's looking like over here. Yeah, so we're going to have to deal with that. I don't like how that is merging. I'm going to go back into, I'm just going to get rid of this. Okay, this is starting to look a little bit cleaner, but now I have this problem right here where I want to go and add in a vertice, so I can go in. I'm just going to go ahead and do that. I'm creating a loop tool right there. I'm going to bring this out a little bit. Great. And now I can create faces here. Okay, great. Those legs are looking a lot better than they were just a second ago. Wonderful. I'm going to bring these in a little bit. I'm going to bring these in a little bit. Okay, cool. Yeah, maybe make those a little bit smaller as well. And great. Okay, that's looking better. Is there anything else I kind of want to smooth out? Maybe this a little bit. Remember, this is without the subdivision surface modifier because I took that off. So I can always go ahead and add that again. Yeah, I think I want to make these arms a little bit bigger. So I'm just using this inflate tool to do that a little bit over here. Maybe make it look like it has a little bit more muscle. Okay, so this is starting to look pretty good. This is kind of, at this point, what I want. I think I want to work on the face a little bit more. Let me just smooth this out. I'm on flat and I actually want, oh no, I'm on smooth. Yeah, that jaw doesn't need to be so much like that. Oh, and that is looking awful. That is looking really bad. Let's go back into here. I'm actually going to go into, I'm going to get rid of this again. I think we just have to redo this part. So let's go ahead and, first off, I'm going to create a line here. I can create a line across something by selecting 2 points and then just pressing F in much the same way I would. I'm going to get rid of my empties right now because I don't need these. I'm really just working on topology. And I did that to the wrong one. Let's try and get these to connect to the right places. Great, that's looking good. Great, that's looking okay. Great, that's looking okay. Great, that's looking okay. Wow, and these are all quads except this one right here, which has this vertice, and we can add a loop cut over there to be able to get that to work. So let's go ahead and select these 4, go face. Let's go ahead and select these 4, press face. Let's go ahead and select these 4 and say face. Let's go ahead and select these 4 and say face. Let's go ahead and select these 4 and say face. And now we have this one over here. So let's go ahead and make a loop cut on these. Or we can actually dissolve that vertice. But let's go make the loop cut. Face, and then let's go R. And then let's merge these vertices at center. Great, look at that. That's looking so much better. Ah. Uh-oh, what did I do here? Let's go here. And let's see where my 2 vertices are. There they are. Let's merge at center. Wonderful. Oh my God. Look at how much better that looks than it did before. And is there anywhere else we can start to kind of do this as well? There's this whole thing in the center right here. I could just go ahead and get rid of that. Yeah, let's do it. Okay, so we have a lot we have to do over here. Let's go for it. And in fact, when I do this, I'm just going to go ahead and I'm going to do the mirror modifier again. Let's go for it. Third time is the charm. Oop. Okay, generate mirror. Do this on the y-axis, not also on the x-axis. And let's take this off. I really just want to focus here and see how I can get this to fly. I'm going to go ahead and I'm actually going to go into object mode and turn shading to flat just so it's a little bit easier for me to see. Okay, so this feels like a no-brainer. I can retopologize that, or I can add a loop cut to this neck, which is good. Great. That's feeling good. Oh, great. We have 4 right here. Oh my god, that looks a lot better. That looks a lot better. Okay, let's go ahead and add a loop cut. Wonderful. Look at that. Oh my god. And now I can go ahead and I can select these vertices. I can press M and I can merge them at the center. And wow, look at this. This is looking so much better than it did before. Look at that better topology. Obviously, we still have stuff like this, which is a triangle. We don't want that. And we have... No, these are all quads. That's okay. Okay. So we have this one triangle. It's so funny. I keep saying to myself, oh, we'll just leave a little bit of some rough topology for this as an example. But it's always useful to be able to go in and check what you're doing and seeing if it's actually working. We also have these triangles over here. We really don't want to get in the habit of doing this. So... But you know what? We're going to leave it for right now. We're going to leave it for right now. It's going to be fine. Or we could actually move this vertice. Okay, you know what? We're going to do something. We're going to actually start to extrude vertices here. Yay! I bet you're saying to yourself, yay, Duncan. We're going to start to extrude vertices. So I'm going to press E. And I'm kind of bringing this up right here. I'm just going to bring this out over here. Oop. Really what I want is I want to extrude, and I want it to be kind of like that. And I want to select these. Go face. I'm going to extrude a vertice that comes out of the center here. We're going to merge those later on. In the meantime, I can go boom, 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 boom. That's 4. And then I am going to go boom. I'm going to extrude one down here. Oh, not that way. And go boom, 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 boom. And that's looking a little bit better. And then we will, that's actually a quad right there. So let's go ahead and let's apply this mirror modifier. And let's go ahead and first go AM by distance. Great, we removed 2 vertices. That's wonderful. Let's go create a face there. Okay, this is looking better. It's still really messy and it's still not super good, especially considering we have these guys down here, which I really don't like, particularly this guy. Oh man, I'm doing the whole thing, aren't I? Okay. And this is actually a quad, so this works perfectly. Yay! Okay, that's looking better. I can't see any non-quads right now. Let's move this up a little bit. That's looking a lot better. Oh, no. No, okay. Is this... This is technically a quad. I'm going to leave it because I'm being a little bad here. Okay, I'm glad we went in and did that, though. Okay, AM by distance, 0 vertices removed. Now we're going to go ahead and add the subdivision surface modifier. I'm going to bring this to, like, 3. Wow, that's looking pretty good. Cool. Go back into sculpt mode. to be like more of an alien kind of looking guy. What's these two things down here? What the heck are these? Oh no! Okay, let's get rid of these. That's fine. Okay. So at this point, you can really start to play around. Like, say, for instance, you want to kind of make the muscles bigger or whatever. Go for it. Have fun. Play around with it in the context of the model that you're creating. No, I missed one. Okay, so I'll keep working on this. You keep working on yours. Once you've gotten into a place that you think is pretty good, we'll come back and we'll talk about this. But this is a huge departure from what we've been doing before in the past, where we were kind of like adding shapes together, or going in and like really manipulating like more simple shapes. We're really manipulating pretty complex shapes here. And you should be happy with the fact that this is like so much more complex than what we were doing initially. And by that, I mean, I don't mean like you should be like, oh, yeah, I'm so excited to work on these vertices. I mean that this is like, you should be proud of yourself. This is not an easy thing to have gotten to in just a few weeks. So great work. I'm going to keep sorting this out because, as you can see, I keep finding these triangles and inside of my topology. Oh no, and there's another one back there. And this isn't a huge deal for us right now, but it definitely will be going forward in the future, since we're just going to be using these for really simple animations. And there was more up here. It's not the biggest deal, but it will become a big deal, and we're going to start to focus on this more and more as we get into creating our characters. So, good work. In the next video, I'm just going to go ahead and show you how I would unwrap this character and add some elements to it. Bye.